Why trying to be liked is destroying your mind. Most people don't realize this, but the silent reason they feel exhausted, anxious, and mentally drained is not because life is hard. It's because they are constantly trying to be liked. Liked by people, liked by family, liked by friends, liked by strangers, liked by the world. And the worst part? They don't even notice when this habit starts controlling them. From the outside, their life looks normal. They're polite, they're helpful, they're good people, but inside, their mind is never at rest. Because when you live to be liked, your peace is no longer yours. It belongs to everyone else. Think about it. You replay conversations in your head, wondering if you said the right thing.
You feel uncomfortable saying no, even when you're tired. You explain yourself too much, even to people who don't deserve explanations. And when someone disapproves of you, even silently, your mood changes, not because you are weak, but because you've trained your mind to depend on approval. Stoics warned about this centuries ago. They believed that the fastest way to lose inner strength is to hand control of your emotions to other people. Because the moment your self-worth depends on being liked, you are no longer free. You become reactive. A compliment lifts you up. A criticism destroys your day. A cold response makes you doubt yourself. That's not confidence. That's emotional dependence. And it slowly ruins your mind. Here's the truth most people avoid. When you try to be liked by everyone, you stop being honest with yourself. You adjust your personality. You soften your opinions. You hide your boundaries. Not because you want to, but because you're afraid. Afraid of rejection. Afraid of disapproval. Afraid of being misunderstood. Stoicism calls this a dangerous illusion because no matter how carefully you behave, no matter how kind you are, no matter how much you give, you will still be disliked by some people. That is not a failure. That is reality. Marcus Aurelius wrote that if you base your peace on how others see you, you will never know calm because other people's opinions are outside your control. And anything outside your control should never control your mind. But most people don't understand this. They wake up every day mentally negotiating with the world. How can I avoid conflict? How can I keep everyone happy? How can I be accepted? And slowly, they disappear. Not physically, but mentally. Their thoughts become crowded. Their decisions become delayed. Their confidence becomes fragile. Because when approval becomes the goal, clarity disappears. You stop asking, what is right? And start asking, what will they think? This is where mental decay begins. Stoics believe that inner peace comes from alignment with reason, not applause. You are not here to be liked. You are here to live correctly. And those two things are not the same. In fact, the people who are most respected are rarely the ones who tried the hardest to be liked. They are calm. They are grounded. They are unapologetically consistent. They don't chase approval. They attract respect. But before you can reach that level, you must see the damage approval seeking has already done. Ask yourself honestly, how many decisions did you make just to avoid discomfort? How many times did you stay silent to keep the peace? How often did you betray your own values to fit in? Every time you did that, your mind learned a dangerous lesson. My peace depends on others. And that belief is exhausting because people are unpredictable. Their moods change. Their opinions shift. If your calm depends on them, your calm will never last. Stoicism offers a different path. Not isolation, not coldness, but independence. The kind where you respect others without needing their validation. The kind where you act correctly, even if no one applauds. The kind where silence is not fear, it's strength. The hidden signs you're controlled by approval. Most people believe they are independent thinkers. But Stoics knew something uncomfortable. You don't need chains to be controlled. You only need fear. Fear of being disliked, fear of being judged, fear of standing alone. And this fear shows itself in quiet, invisible habits. Let's expose them. The first sign is over-explaining. You don't just say what you mean. You justify it. You defend it. You soften it.
Not because you're wrong, but because you're afraid someone might misunderstand you. Stoics saw this as a weakness of the mind. Because truth does not beg for acceptance, it stands on its own. When you explain yourself too much, you're silently asking for permission to exist as you are. The second sign is emotional scanning. You constantly read faces. You notice tone shifts. You feel tension before anyone speaks. One raised eyebrow, one dry reply, and your mind starts racing. What did I do wrong? This is not sensitivity. It is hyper-dependence. Your nervous system is trained to react to external signals instead of internal judgment. Stoics believed this was mental slavery. Because when your mood is dictated by other people's expressions, you are never present. You are always alert, always adjusting, always bracing for disapproval. The third sign is avoiding discomfort at all costs. You say yes when you want to say no. You stay when you should walk away. You tolerate behavior you internally resent. Why? Because conflict feels dangerous. Stoics understood this clearly. Avoiding discomfort does not create peace. It creates resentment, and resentment slowly poisons the mind. When you suppress your truth to be liked, your emotions don't disappear. They accumulate. They turn into frustration, bitterness, mental fatigue.
And one day, you don't even know why you feel so heavy. The fourth sign is needing closure from others. You want explanations, apologies, validation. You wait for someone else to confirm your worth. Stoicism rejects this completely, because closure that depends on others is never guaranteed. If your peace needs their understanding, you've already lost control. The Stoic approach was simple but brutal. If it's outside your control, release it. Not emotionally, mentally. The fifth sign is changing who you are depending on who you're with. Different tone, different humor, different opinions. You call it adaptability. Stoics called it fragmentation, because when you split yourself to be accepted, you weaken your core.
A strong mind is consistent, not rigid but rooted. It knows its values and does not trade them for comfort. Here is the harsh truth. Approval seeking doesn't make you liked. It makes you forgettable. People sense when you are trying. They may enjoy your compliance, but they do not respect it. Stoics believed respect comes from inner alignment, not effort, from someone who does not chase but chooses, someone who does not react but responds, someone who is not loud but grounded. This is why Stoic figures appeared calm even in chaos. They trained their minds to answer one question only: what is within my control?
Not opinions, not reactions, not moods, only actions, thoughts, choices. Everything else was released. And this is where freedom began. How Stoics broke free and took back control. Stoics did not try to be fearless. They trained themselves to be independent, independent of praise, independent of blame, independent of emotional noise. They understood something most people never do. The moment you need approval, you give away authority over your mind. So how did they break free? Not with motivation, with discipline. The first Stoic rule was separation. They separated what is mine from what is not mine. Your thoughts, yours. Your actions, yours. Your values, yours.
But opinions, reactions, judgments of others, not yours. Once this line is clear, emotional chaos loses its power, because you stop trying to control what was never controllable. The second rule was voluntary discomfort. Stoics didn't avoid discomfort, they trained inside it. They practiced silence when ego wanted to speak. They practiced restraint when anger wanted release. They practiced walking away when pride wanted the last word. This was not weakness. It was self-command. Every time you don't react, you build authority over yourself. and authority over yourself is the highest form of power.
The third rule was inner validation. Stoics asked themselves one question at night. Did I act according to my values today? Not, did people like me? Did I impress them? Did I avoid conflict? Just one question. Because when your standards are internal, no external judgment can collapse you. Approval becomes irrelevant when conscience is clear. The fourth rule was strategic detachment. Detachment does not mean indifference. It means emotional economy. You stop investing energy where there is no return. You stop explaining yourself to people committed to misunderstanding you. You stop chasing closure from people who benefit from confusion. Stoics knew not every relationship deserves access to your inner world.
Calm is expensive. Spend it wisely. The final rule was identity discipline. Stoics did not define themselves by roles, labels, or reactions. They defined themselves by character. I am someone who remains steady. I am someone who chooses reason. I am someone who does not betray myself. When identity is clear, behavior follows. You don't need willpower to stop chasing approval. It dies naturally when your identity changes. Here is what happens when you apply this. You speak less, but with weight. You explain less, but feel lighter. You walk away without resentment. People may not always like you, but they will feel your presence. Because grounded people don't need to announce their strength. They radiate it. Stoicism doesn't make you cold. It makes you clear. Clear about what matters. Clear about what doesn't. Clear about who you are. And once clarity arrives, peace follows. Not because life is easy, but because your mind is no longer chaotic. You stop seeking permission to exist. You stop apologizing for boundaries. You stop shrinking to fit into rooms that were never meant for you. This is Stoic freedom. Not loud, not dramatic, unshakable. If you master this, no opinion can trap you. No rejection can break you. No silence can threaten you. Because you finally belong to yourself. If this message helped you think differently, subscribe to Daily Stoic Wisdom for timeless lessons on mental strength, emotional discipline, and unshakable inner control. Calm is not weakness. Calm is command.